The bar up there has a holding tank, a 3,000 gallon holding, two of them. There's no septic system in that bar. The two houses next to it.
Well,
Where's their
they
system going?
then need, send out your SEO, send out your SEO, have them have a discussion about that with them.
That
Have
opens
them
up,
come to the planning commission and have a discussion.
that opens
We
up
do not have the
DEP to
facts.
come in and force you to put sewers in all the way.
That's incorrect.
Oh, it is.
You know, you keep saying this, you know, and you may know, but write down those names, write down those places, and write down the facts that have been gathered by the sewage enforcement officer.
Thank you. You would? Go ahead, Ken. Terry.
So, very important. So now that it's been tabled, is the zoning hearing application still submitted?
That's still, as far as I know, it doesn't process.
So now, do you have to schedule it in 60 days?
Correct, I imagine you want to push the hearing back.
I guess let's see what the planning commission says, and we can then go from there.
Well, it's the hearing that's advertised and stuff. Send the next 15 days.
I guess what I'd suggest is we continue that path, and then run up simultaneously.
So you said you're proceeding?
Dan Orange, Kratz Road. One would think that Mr. Goldthorpe would want to act in good faith with the planning commission and put a hold on his zoning hearing board, which he surprised everybody with, as well as his new plan, if he was going to act with spirit cooperation, which the planning commission has acted with all along with your organization. So I would like to see whether you're willing to postpone your request to the zoning hearing board until you've had the opportunity to meet and discuss this matter with the planning commission.
When is the zoning hearing board typically meet?
What, the planning board?
No, zoning hearing. So I guess I would just suggest we hold it after the planning commission meeting.
I think it means the week of the 21st or the 20th.
Agreed.
Yeah, I was looking for him to suspend his desire to have the zoning hearing board until he has a chance to meet and further discuss this matter, which we've discussed with him in the planning commission for the past umpteen months. And then he can make his decision whether he wants to submit and go for a zoning hearing board. At that point in time, he still has plenty of time to do that if he's unsatisfied with his open and fair-minded discussion with the planning commission.
If he doesn't extend it, he has to be heard by like the 28th of October. So we'd have to advertise for it, if he came to planning, and then he would withdraw.
I'm saying he withdraws it and then submits again later on, period.
That's
Full stop. Not play games of us like a cat playing with the mouse. I think if he's legitimately going to entertain the notion of having an honest, open discussion with the planning commission in order to work out resolutions to this, and I think at the last meeting, there were some indications that he was fairly pleased with the solutions that were being put forth. One would think he wouldn't need to have a loaded gun ready to go off. Speaking figuratively, of course. So either you trust the process or you don't trust the process and you're just dragging us along and playing with us. That's basically what I'm saying. What's going on?
I disagree with your characterization. You know, I think I've been in front of the town numerous times over the last number of years, to have frank conversations, and it's just drug on and on and on. Now you're at a point where we're up against that clock. And so the township and the residents essentially are holding that gun to us to say, you need to act by a certain date. And we're asking for an extension to work in good faith. And so I disagree with your perspective.
I'll feel fine that you're working with us in good faith if you drop this zoning hearing board issue. Because we have been working with you in good faith. And at the most recent meeting, you never made any indication, to repeat what Chuck Geiser said, you never made any indication to us that you needed to go from 47 to 60 houses in order to accomplish anything. And I don't think you're actually being fully honest, because in the original plan, you were supposed to build us a full-blown sewer pumping station. And now you're being offered an opportunity to build just something that's marginally, fractionally the same, fractional the cost of what you would have had to build with the original plan. So I don't know whether you're playing honestly with us, but I would think an honest conversation with you without either side threatening one another would be much more productive. And that is on your shoulders, not on ours, to be honest.
So I believe I gave that option though with an extension. So that's how we started this conversation. Why not just give a 6-month extension and then we can continue that conversation?
Give us a 6-month extension and drop the zoning hearing board?
We're happy to have, if we have a 6-month extension, we're happy to table the zoning hearing board.
I don't want you to table it, I want you to tear the paper up and resubmit later on. Basically tear it up, not
What's that?
tear it up and do it again if you think it's necessary, but not just table it. Or that just means you're waiting for some point in time to launch it at us later on.
Well,
You're not dealing, you want to deal with us in good faith, deal with us in good faith. And you're not showing, what your statements right now are not proving to me that you're willing to deal with us in good faith.
Fair enough.
Yes.
Ross Hoffman, 5 Riverside Avenue. I can't understand what the big rush is. These people just found out about this on Friday. You have till next August.
So I can describe that. So in order for us to meet the requirement of having the improvement substantially complete, so the August date means that the roads have to be in and so stormwater basins have to be in.
So you still have till next August.
That's
where this runs out.
That's correct.
You come in here next June.
No.
And now,
Because we have at least 6 months of site work to do. And so even if we started the process.
if you started that now,
So we have to
you
start.
could have started that 14 years ago.
Sure, so that's really part of the question is.
So I don't see what the big hurry is to get anything done tonight. You could wait till February, March, and you still have 6 months.
If we waited till February, we would end up having to really be up against that challenge to finish.
So you're telling us you're up against it now, you still have almost a year, really.
So we still have to mobilize and work through all of our outside agency permits. So there's a lot of work that we would need to do in order to be able to meet that all.
Well, why didn't you do this last year?
We've continued to have conversations with the town about alternative
Because you
solutions.
wanted to push them other houses into what it is, where it comes down to.
I disagree with that.
I don't disagree with it. They just found out, why did you just put it in on Friday?
It was submitted back September 4th, maybe 4 weeks ago. I can't answer why everyone found out about it Friday.
Again, Brian Levin, again, I guess I still question, this gentleman has not, he's been given a proposed plan that has a septic solution that is actually against the ordinance, along with another solution that isn't been approved, which are grinder pumps. So he still sits here this evening, where do I go? So I think ultimately, I'm not necessarily for or against the project here. I'm just saying, you're saying there is a doesn't have a solution via our ordinance, nor does he have a solution from approval for Fredrerick, even though that is maybe a less costly option. So if he sits here wanting to know what direction he goes, that's really the issue of the process.
Bob Burns, Iberville Road. So Terry, correct me if I'm wrong here. So if he ran gravity on site for the 46 homes to a pump station on his property, would that be, is that okay for him to do that and then run the pump from the pump station to the manhole at Little's? That would be an acceptable solution?
I'm not gonna say for sure, because it's not approved, but
Okay, but that is an alternative that can be brought up at the planning commission and discussed at that point in time. So one of the other things that 537 talks about sewer districts, and I brought this up to you in the past, and you said, no, we're not going to have different sewer districts. The problem is, if we have the pump station on his property, it's owned by the HOA can go ahead and pay that $18,000 maintenance on that plant every year, and not the township. Okay, and then additionally, even though he's going to pump it up to a gravity manhole, that manhole still goes down to Delphi and goes through the Delphi system, which when Carol gave her presentation in January, Paul Dietz, I believe his name is, stated that the pumps needed to be replaced. So,
we're done.
oh, they're done already? Okay, I didn't know that. So that's good to know. So that's already approved, but at the last meeting of the planning commission, Carol stated that that was something that the township would have to look into. So I wasn't aware of that was taken care of.
Yes, I'm gonna move on.
Dr. Swanson, I have a question. I don't, in all fairness, and like I said, you know, whether or not to sell them, if they're, you know, all I want is problems in our area here. But hasn't that property changed ownership? I don't think this gentleman had it for 14 years. Am I correct on that or not? I don't think he had the
Ben, you
opportunity.
want to answer that?
Yeah, so you're correct. So the group that I work for obtained it around 2013.
That's what I thought. I didn't, because it's changed numerous times, and it did not fall on him for 14 years. It's only 6 years. The plan is, yes. The plan is, yes.
The plan is. Phil, we're adding this here after another one. That's it. It's been tabled, so.
Two quick things. First of all, Ben, that's inaccurate. You were an employee of TH Properties prior to that. As a matter of fact, you presented the Melbourne Hill Tract plan, I think, in 2004. So you've been affiliated with this project for quite some time. Even though you weren't the representative developer, you were an employee of the firm and representative that presented that plan. So you have been involved for the course of the duration, if you will, of the development of
There was a period there where I was no longer an employee and not working on it.
But yet you do have a longevity with this and full knowledge of the development and such.
From back in 2007, yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Let's move on. Consideration of an ordinance to amend Chapter 6 Township Code regarding the environmental classification.
Yes, we have an ordinance that has been advertised and ready for action by the board. It's amendment to chapter 6 of the code regarding the Environmental Advisory Council. Essentially, it gives the council the opportunity to pick its own chairman and delegates responsibilities to the council, which is to identify issues, come up with solutions, and prepare plans to submit to the board of supervisors for potential action. We're ready to vote tonight? No.
So we want to make a motion?
So moved.
I'll second.
Any questions? A vote?
Aye.
Aye. Reports, Township Engineer.
Thank you. Is this working? Can anybody hear me? Just be loud. All right, a recommendation for partial payment is provided again for board consideration for chip seal. It's accompanied by a summary sheet and a certificate. Payment number one in the amount of $151,316.19 is for chip seal work that was performed in July of 2019. A 5% retainage is held until final quantities are agreed upon and required repairs are completed. Required repairs are to be completed later this week. Certain areas of chip seal placed in July were not accepted. It is believed that the combination of extreme hot weather and higher than usual traffic and truck traffic volumes relating to regional bridge closures were the primary reasons for those failures. The contractor has been directed to reapply chip seal to Springmount Road near the intersection with gravel pipe and at the bottom of a vertical curve between the municipal building and the fire hall. We had initially discussed reapplication of chip seal near the intersection with Main Street, but PICO has been out there excavating trenches in the road, and they have not yet completed final pavement restoration work. Now, Springmount Road will be temporarily closed during a portion of the day that they perform the repair work, and that's noted by the signs that have been up since last week. Would the board like to consider that recommendation before I proceed with my report?
To pay the bill?
Right.
Yes, also move.
Second.
Any questions? A vote? Aye.
Thank you. The remainder of my report is informational, requires no action by the board. The first is the required annual MS4 report, which is due at the end of September, was assembled for and submitted to the DEP. During the month of September, Schwenk Road was paved along the frontage of the Arcadia Station development. In the coming week, they're finishing the grading along the edge of that road. During the month of September, Village Drive speed tables were installed by the Township forces. On Goshen Road, progress prints for the sidewalk improvements were forwarded to the awarding agency, the Montgomery County Planning Commission, for comment last week. And on Swamp Creek Road, a permit application was submitted this month for replacement of an undersized Swamp Creek Road culvert. You might reference a February meeting where that was discussed and authorized. After the permit is received, the project funding application will be sent to the Low Volume Road Program administered by the Montgomery County Conservation District. Those are the items on my report. I'd be happy to address any questions you may have about these or other township engineering issues.
Are the speed tables again on Village Drive?
Yes.
Question for Carol, if I may, Mr. Chairman.
Go ahead.
I've heard from a couple of residents on Village Drive who say that part of the speed tables work and part of them don't. Are there any other adjustments planned to the speed tables?
To be honest, I did not inspect the installation of the speed tables or inspect the speed tables since the installation was complete, so I don't have complete answers.
But I'm assuming you're going to take a look at it?
If so directed by the township.
Bob?
Bob Burns, Woodville Road. Carol, we had a manhole lining grant. I think it was somewhere in the neighborhood of $60,000, and I think we only spent about 25 or 30 of that. I think you said that you were going to put that balance back out for bid. Has that been taken care of yet?
I'm not putting the balance out for bid. We actually have the manhole lining underway at this time. I think there's one manhole left to do. I'm not exactly sure of that, but they've been working out there over the past week. So when that contract is complete and we have the totals at the end of that contract, I intend to reach out to the awarding agency and talk to them about things that we can do with the remainder of the money. And I'm not sure the best bang for the buck is going to be lining more manholes. We know we have a leak in the pipe. So what I would actually be doing is reaching out to the CFA to talk to them about redirecting some of that remaining money to some other I&I issues within our sewer system. But I don't want to do that until we have our final costs from this project and we know exactly where we stand so that I can report to the Bureau our expenses to date, and we have this pot remaining, we'd like to do this.
I was just worried in case it would run out by the end of the year, if that's not the case.
We have another year.
And then also, I believe, in the springtime, you brought up something about, I think it's called Greavy Road, a guide rail installation around $80,000.
So we submitted a grant application for that. I have not yet heard back on that grant application. I'll have to look and see what the date is for that award. I don't know that off the top of my head.
Okay, and then also the grant application for the lighting in Cedarville. When's that come due?
I believe that's awarded in November, but I need to check on that for you.
And I had asked you before, I think your answer to me, I had asked about solar lighting, and you told me to look at PennDOT Gold 15 or 25, whichever it was.
15.
Okay, yeah, is that bullet 15 required for that project?
So that would be the standard PennDOT specifications. Standard PennDOT specifications, whenever we can, to try to align with PennDOT specifications, because that's the tried and true in Pennsylvania.
Right, because I think several of us had looked and we couldn't find a solar light that was available as a PennDOT approved item in Walden. However, there was other projects done in Pennsylvania that have solar lighting that were done by government and grants. So obviously, they must have gone through a different area to get that taken care of.
Sort of a belt and suspenders gal. I like to try and prove that we know is working in other communities. I don't want to be the first to try something new when we have tried and true in general. But, certainly if somebody wants to look at that when the grant comes back, if you're awarded the grant, we can look at that.
Well, I think the one question that Marla had iterated before was, we don't know what the electrical expense is on one light, let alone 24 lights. And that would have to be something we'd have to look at in the budget to pay for that lighting cost.
I believe I looked at that a couple months back, and we'd be in the range, if my memory serves, of about 1,700 annually for
All
the
24.
location and the electricity for the LEDs.
Cool. Thank you.
It's a little off the top of my head, so.
Yeah, no problem.
Forgive me.
Thank you.
But it was under $2,000.
Nice. All right.
And I think the grant request is for 30 lights, 30 street lights, not 24.
Oh, okay.
I think you're right.
Real quick, Troy Musselman, 203 Main. With regards to the additional chip sealing being done, I don't know who schedules it, if it works with the Township road crew as well, but the last time that Spring Mountain Road was done, there was also additional work being done up on Perkiomen Avenue where they had Perkiomen opened up. So basically the center section of Perkiomen, Mary Jane, Mary Ann's, Woodside, Church, they were stuck. They could not get out during the day. So I don't know if there should be a little bit better planning being done between the two entities. Hopefully it won't happen this time since just the end of the road is being done. You don't have to shut down the whole Spring Mountain Road. And also with regards to the chip sealing, it seemed $151,000 was a big expense. It was done, it looked good. Within a week, it was being dug up again on certain roads.